Good morning. I'm Jen Amos at Weiss Research.
I'm Andy Myers, and this is your morning market alert for Thursday, December 9th. Stocks on Wall Street are set for solid gains at the open, following markets around the world higher. Global financial stocks are leading the charge, and investors are reacting positively to the latest data on the labor market. 421,000 Americans filed for first-time unemployment benefits last week, 17,000 fewer than the previous week. The total number of people on the jobless rolls also fell to just under 4.1 million. Later this morning, the Commerce Department will release its reading on September wholesale trade.
This afternoon, investors' focus will shift to the bond market when the Treasury auctions off $13 billion in 30-year notes. Bond prices have been falling sharply and yields rising ever since President Obama and Republicans agreed to an extension of the Bush tax cuts earlier this week. Investors expect the deal to contribute to economic growth over the next couple of years, but also add to the federal deficit. That would likely boost interest rates in the future, making bonds a less attractive investment now. The agreement has also been strengthening the dollar, which continues to gain against other major currencies this morning.
On the corporate front, the technology industry is likely to be back in focus today. ASML Holdings, which supplies equipment to semiconductor manufacturers, is jumping more than 5% in the pre-market. The Dutch company lifted its forecast for order bookings in the current quarter. That's giving a boost to most chip makers, including National Semiconductor, which is scheduled to report its quarterly numbers today. Communication equipment maker Ciena is also due to post its results. Analysts expect a loss of 15 cents a share. Elsewhere in the tech sector, Dell announced that it's in advanced talks to buy Compellent Technologies, which makes data storage devices. Dell is up nearly 1%, but Compellent is plunging 15% on the news. Investors seem to think the potential purchase price of $27.50 a share is too low. Meanwhile, Deutsche Bank placed Intel on its short-term buy list. Piper Jaffray put a new overweight rating on Qualcomm, and Needham is calling AOL a buy. Those stocks are all rising in the pre-market.
Analysts are also making some calls in the consumer goods industry. Wells Fargo downgraded Johnson & Johnson to market perform and said there's a 25 to 50% chance that it will shut down its Puerto Rican unit. J&J shares are losing 0.5% on the news. But DuPont may rise at the open after it affirmed its earnings outlook for the full year. Walgreens is also slightly higher after it was upgraded to buy at UBS. And in the home improvement space, FBR swapped its ratings on the two biggest players in that industry. Home Depot now gets an outperform rating, while Lowe's was cut to market perform.
Shares of Ford are gaining more than 1% in pre-market trading. Bank of America Merrill Lynch boosted its earnings estimates for the automaker and its price target on the stock. Bank of America also weighed in on a couple tire makers. Both Goodyear and Cooper Tire were upgraded to buys. A couple natural resource companies may be among the day's biggest winners. Shares of Freeport McMoRan are jumping 2.5% after the mining giant declared a 2-for-1 stock split and said it will pay out an extra $1 a share in quarterly dividends. And Sempra Energy is set for a pop at the open after Goldman Sachs upgraded it to buy.
And finally, our daily dose of booze news. Brown-Forman, which makes Jack Daniel's and Southern Comfort, among other liquors, reported a 5% increase in its quarterly profit and raised its target for earnings in 2011. Those shares are gaining nearly 1% on the news. That's the latest from Weiss Research. Have a great trading day.